Hi and welcome. So today I want to share with you why compassion is key on the emotional eating journey. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist and emotional eating expert. And I wanted to talk a bit about compassion. This is something that's so key to your journey with your emotional eating. And I think that when we're coming from this emotional eating world and we've tried all the diets and exercise plans and, we are going to pills and surgeries, we think something is wrong with us. And we actually don't have a lot of compassion for ourselves because we are really bullying ourselves to fit into a certain box. And what we're essentially doing is treating ourselves the way we were treated that actually created this emotional eating pattern. So, emotional eating is a coping mechanism. It's a pattern that is really there for us to cope with life, to soothe ourselves from any discomfort or uncomfortable emotions with food. And we develop this pattern when we're very young. For most of my clients, this pattern stems from childhood where we weren't able to regulate ourselves, or our parents or caregivers kind of regulate us or model to us how to be with this discomfort, how to really see us, hear us, validate us, have compassion for us. And so we thought something was wrong with us, wrong with our emotions, the way we were being, we weren't accepted. And that discomfort lives in our body. And maybe we were even told we were too sensitive when we were experiencing emotions. And so what that does is it turns us against ourselves. When we're so young and we don't get this acceptance and validation from our parents and caregivers or those close to us, we actually internally turn away from ourselves, and we have a lot of shame, and we create this shame, and we need to develop coping strategies to deal with it. And emotional eating is one of those coping strategies. And so just ask yourself, do you feel like you weren't fully accepted or seen or heard when you were younger? Does that connect for you? Because this is the pattern I see with my clients. And because you feel like you have to constrain yourself or be a different way, you don't have compassion for yourself. You don't have compassion for how you are and what's happened to you. And I see this with clients because when we do the deeper work around their emotional eating and to give themselves that compassion of why they developed this pattern and how to learn a new way of being, it's really hard for them to see that, oh, this is why I developed this. I didn't have my needs met. I was, sort of criticized. I was sort of not accepted. And they think they should be different for some reason, not realizing that these are critical core needs of any human, of any child, is to be seen, heard, validated, accepted, to be loved for who they are. And when those needs are not met, we develop these coping mechanisms and patterns to shield ourselves from this discomfort, to soothe ourselves, and then this becomes the way of how we deal with any discomfort and uncomfortable emotions in our life. And so by having compassion for ourselves, we don't keep bulldozing ourselves every time this pattern comes up. We become more curious and we want to understand why we have this pattern. Because having understanding and having compassion is the doorway into opening up this pattern. It's the doorway to really seeing how it was created. And this is a softening, and it actually is a critical need that will help us resolve and dissolve the emotional eating pattern. I'm simplifying here, but I want you to really consider how compassion is important. If you know someone in your life, if you start bullying them into doing something a certain way or forcing them, are they receptive to that? Or when you have compassion and understanding and really hear them out, they soften, and then you can create a new way forward. So compassion is really key for transformation and for change, not in a manipulative way, a genuine way of understanding. And so when we're able to do this, this helps us with our pattern. And so, overall, when I work with clients inside of the emotional eating evolution program, this is something that I want them to cultivate. In our society, we're really set up to push ourselves, bulldoze ourselves, criticize ourselves, and, think something's wrong with us. I don't believe that. I think at our core and when we're born, we're very pure. And when our needs are met, our natural way of being is very loving and compassionate. But when those things, when our needs aren't met or we're criticized or not accepted, we take in those comments and we create it internally and we start doing it to ourselves over and over again. And this is where we get stuck in these coping mechanisms and patterns. And so the way out is to really start developing compassion. And so inside of the Emotional Eating Evolution program, we're cultivating this in every way. We're cultivating compassion around ourselves with our emotional eating pattern, with food, with our body, with our emotions, because this is how we're going to dissolve this pattern and move forward in a really loving way. I mean, I don't know about you, but if you push and bully yourself to a goal, how will reaching that goal make you love yourself? It won't. You need to be doing that all along the journey. And so as you cultivate more and more compassion, when you do dissolve this pattern, you still have that compassion and care for yourself. And that's what we all really need and desire anyways. So if what I'm saying to you resonates and you would like to find out more about the Emotional Eating Evolution program, I will leave a link below. If you're ready and you're committed to resolving your emotional eating, I'd also love to invite you to book in an emotional eating assessment call. So on this call, we find out more about you and your goals, and we see how we can support you in the program. So I will leave those links below. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. And I look forward to sharing more with you. And I hope you have a great day.